Hello and welcome back to the Satoshi Society. My name is AJ, one of the co-hosts here, and today Ben is not joining us. He is going to go live later on today, so stay tuned for his live as well. But as of right now, I am just going to go through some of the technicals because we do have some things happening. So there's nothing too exciting going on. We are trading within a $1,000 range like we were a few days ago. We've been in this range now for around 3 to 4 days, so I will show you that as well. But yeah, there's nothing too exciting. So we are going to start off with the DXY. There is some stuff that I do need to talk about, and it starts here with the DXY. So the DXY, I've been speaking about this for a while. We have this resistance level up here, this white horizontal level of resistance. You can see we've had a few touches of this level, and each time we've come up to this level, we have seen a rejection. So there is strong resistance at this level. And what we are seeing right now is that the price is slowly making its way back up to that resistance level at approximately that $109 level. We haven't quite made it there yet, and we are seeing a little pullback, but the price is making its way back up slowly to that $109 level. Now, as we know, this is not good for the crypto markets. This is not good for the traditional markets either. If we do continue to see the DXY increase in price, we will most likely see a pullback in the traditional market, but also the crypto market as well. So we do just have to be aware of that. And I've mentioned this before as well in the previous lives, but if we do break above this resistance level on the DXY, then I do anticipate that the DXY is going to come all the way up to around 112 that $112 level. If that happens, we will most likely see more pain for the crypto markets, Bitcoin, the traditional market. We will see a lot more pain. So we do just have to be aware of that. There also is there is resistance at that $112 level. There is resistance there, but again, if we break above that, then the next target we're looking at is the $120 level. I've showed this previously. You know, these levels have been previous resistance levels all the way back. If I scroll back here, if my chart would like to load, the chart's not loading right now, but is it going to load? No, right. The chart's not loading, but these levels are very, very important levels for us. And yeah, if we do break above this resistance level, I do think we are going to come up to that $112 level approximately on the DXY, which will signal more downside for the crypto market and the traditional market as well. So I just wanted to keep you updated there. Looking at the traditional market, we do still have about an hour and a half until the traditional market opens. But looking at this is the S&P 500. I've showed you a tweet that actually got posted. I'll just show you quickly again. This one here. So this one here is showing how similar the S&P 500 is looking to the 2007 and the 2008 crash. You can see we've got the 200 MA, this orange line here, got rejection from there, broke this support level here. This is not up to date, but we can look at it on this chart. We've got rejected from that 200 MA right there, and we've broken that support right there. This is exactly the same chart as this one here. I've just drawn it on my my personal chart, and you can see we've broken that support, and we are seeing the S&P have that pullback. So this is signaling to us we could see a 2008 crash happen again. But I'd only anticipate that to happen if we were to break above this resistance level on the DXY. We can continue to come up to 112. We would most definitely have a bigger pullback than we have already seen in the S&P 500. But then if we broke 112 and came up to 120 on the DXY, then we would most likely have a very, very similar crash to the 2008 crash. But the good news is that we do have those resistance levels coming in at 112. So hopefully, if we do break this resistance, we can find strong resistance at that 112 and see a rejection from that 112 level. But yeah, we will just have to wait and see what happens, because as I said, we are making our way slowly back up to this resistance level. If we break that, then my next target is 112, and that will be bearish for the traditional and the crypto market. Taking a look at Bitcoin then, we do have that rising wedge pattern, as you can see right here, that broke towards the downside, and our TPs have been hit. Well, our TP1 and the TP2 has been hit very nicely, as you can see right here. But that TP3 is still sort of in question. Is that TP3 going to be hit, which is at approximately $19,000? Now, the DXY continues to come up to this resistance and potentially break that, then I do believe $19,000 is going to be hit. But what we can actually see here on this 8-hour chart as well is this falling wedge. So we have a rising wedge, and now we had a rising wedge, now we have a falling wedge, and a falling wedge is bullish, and as we know, a rising wedge is bearish, and we did see that bearish reaction to it. But we are seeing that that falling wedge now, which is actually a bullish pattern. If we do break towards the upside here, there is potential to see the price come up. And, you know, technically the target would be at the top at around $25,000. $25,000, but we have to remember we have so much resistance above us in Bitcoin, but also we are relying on the DXY as well. If we want to see Bitcoin break up out of this falling wedge and have that nice price action towards the upside, we need the DXY to pull back. We need that rejection from the DXY at this white level here. And right now, we aren't seeing it. The DXY has been very resilient. We are not seeing this pullback that we would like to see for that crypto market to have that pump. But talking about the resistance levels on Bitcoin, we do have a lot of resistance. So the first sort of major resistance level that we are coming into is that $21,400 level, approximately at this resistance level right here. Now, this has been very strong resistance previously, as you can see back here. Once we broke above it, we used it as support. We used it as really nice support before breaking back below it. And after breaking back below it, we spent 5 consecutive days within this resistance. So it's showing you how strong this resistance level is. We spent 5 days in this resistance, trading between a $1,000 range, between $20,900 and $21,900. So we were trading it for 5 days, and we were just in this resistance level. We were finding it very, very hard to break above. We didn't manage to break above, and we got this rejection, which is why we've had this pullback. Now, I did anticipate that the price would come down to 19,000. We came fairly close. We were a few $100 off, but there is still a possibility that we could come down to $19,000. That's still sort of my target if we do remain below this resistance level here. So that's what I'm looking at on this daily chart. We do just have to be aware we've still got this rising wedge in play, which does give us a technical target of 12,000 because we did break towards the downside. For this to be invalidated, we need to break this resistance here. Once we can break that resistance there, we can come up and test the resistance at the bottom of the bearish flag, which is sat at around $22,800 as of right now. If we can break above that, then we can invalidate this $12,000 target. And then what we can start looking at is actually, are we forming a double bottom on this weekly chart? So taking a look at this here, we can see a very, very clear W double bottom pattern looks like it could be forming. And this is in correlation with this major blue support here. As you can see, we're using it as support as of right now. And if we look back in history, this was the all-time high back in 2017. So this is a very, very critical support level. We can see it up here as well. Let me just get my arrow, my cross tool out. So we can see it up here. So we've had the all-time high at this area here, and we saw that pullback from the all-time high, and then we came and tested that level again. We couldn't break that resistance. So it shows you that we do use this as support. We do use those all-time highs as support and resistance, and we were using as resistance here, and we did get rejected from it. So, you know, this is exactly what we're seeing now, just sort of the other way round. But we are seeing that major support at this previous all-time high from back in 2017. We used this as support back in June and July as well of 2022, and we are using it as support now. So if we can invalidate this bearish flag, which we do have on the daily chart, if we can validate this by breaking above the resistance at the bottom of the bearish flag, then we can actually start talking about this as a double bottom W pattern. And then we can start talking about the price coming back up to this previous swing high here. And hopefully, well, we are going to use it as resistance, but hopefully breaking above that, which is at around that $25,000 level. And yeah, that would also indicate a break of that resistance, would also actually indicate a break of that resistance of the bearish flag. And we can invalidate that $12,000 target. Once we can get above this resistance level here, we can then hopefully use it as support and then come back up to this major resistance level here at around $1,000 to $32,000 level, which previously, as you can see, has been major support before we did get that break towards the downside right there. And we saw that sort of waterfall effect happen. But yeah, so what we are looking at right now in this weekly chart is a potential double bottom W pattern, but we're only going to see this if we do get a rejection from the DXY and we can break above sort of this resistance level here on the daily chart, because this is major resistance. So we need the DXY to get a rejection from this resistance here and pull back to potentially that $104 level. We then need this resistance level here to be broken. Then we can start talking about this being a valid double bottom W pattern. And obviously we want to get a nice green candle bouncing off this support. We do still have 4 days left, 4 days and 12 hours left of this candle. So there is a possibility that, well, there is time still for this candle to break towards the downside. But yeah, there's more time as well to see more price action towards the upside. So this is what we're looking at. And the only thing that is sort of worrying me a little bit about this weekly chart is if we do come over to the stochastic, the indicator, the stochastic RSI. And what we're looking here is that the stochastic RSI was getting into that overextended region. Now, let me just sort of show you what happens when we do get into that overextended region on the stochastic RSI. So looking at the last time we were up there, it was sort of March and April, and you can see on the stochastic RSI we were in that overextended region. And what did we see on the price action chart? Well, we saw a local top right here, and we saw the price pull back as the stochastic RSI reset down to the bottom, to that oversold territory. We also saw that back here, November 2021. We were in that overextended region. We found that top and we got that pullback as the stochastic RSI had a little pullback as well. We also saw that back in August, back here. It wasn't as big as these two pullbacks have been, but it was a pullback for sure. So you can see that we do tend to see pullbacks when we do get into this overextended region on that stochastic RSI. So looking at the stochastic RSI, it is indicating to me that we could have a reset and a pullback back down to this oversold territory, and that could potentially bring us down to that $12,000 level. So that is the only indication on the weekly that is indicating to me that $12,000 is potentially that next target. But as I said, we just need to invalidate this bearish flag, which is to get above this resistance and then break the resistance at the bottom of the bearish flag to invalidate this target. And it will also sort of indicate to me that we could potentially be back in that bull market again, because we would find support at this major support level here. We would get that nice bounce and we would come up to this resistance level here. If we broke above the resistance at the bottom of the bearish flag, then we would break this resistance here because it lines up almost perfectly. And then once we get above that, we can use it as support and then start talking about that $32,000 level as that next target. But as of right now, We do just have to be very, very aware of this $19,000 level, because if we break below it, we could see a lot more downside. So right now, what I am personally doing is sort of sitting on the sidelines right now, because we are just so unsure of what direction Bitcoin wants to go in. So if we do break this support level here, then what I'm going to be doing is getting ready for a very, very large short position. If we do get this confirmed bounce, however, then I will potentially be looking at a long position. But obviously, we do want to break above this major resistance here for me to even consider getting into a long position. So that's sort of what I'm doing with my portfolio at the moment. I'm just sitting on the sidelines. If we break this support here at 19,000, I will be getting ready to open a very big short position. But if we break above this resistance level here, we can start talking about opening up those big long positions. And yeah, if we were to break towards the downside, I would be looking at taking profit around that $12,000 level, obviously taking profit as we go down. But my main target would be $12,000, because this bearish flag has that price target of $12,000. Let's also have a quick look at Ethereum, see what's happening there. Again, with Ethereum, we're looking exactly the same. We had that rising wedge here, which broke towards the downside, and we saw that bearish reaction. But what we are seeing now is a falling wedge pattern actually form as well. The breakout hasn't been confirmed yet, but I'm sort of in the same situation with Ethereum as I am with Bitcoin, because we need to break above this major resistance level here for me to be sort of bullish again. And this resistance level is coming in between that $1,720 level and that $1,790 level. You can see it's been major support previously, major resistance here before breaking above it. After breaking below it, again, we used it as resistance right there. So you can see this is a very, very critical level. And yeah, looking at this, if we do get a break towards the upside, there is a potential for a long there, but I would be very, very aware that we have very, very strong resistance here as well. So there's a possibility that we could come up to this resistance level and get a pretty harsh rejection from that level there. So I would just be aware of that. But yeah, that's sort of everything I've got for you on the technical side of things. As I said, nothing too exciting going on. For me, I am just sitting on that sideline, waiting for Bitcoin to either break this resistance level here or this major support level here. And then I will have that clear view, and it will give me that clear decision of whether I am going to go long or I'm going to go short. So yeah, that's everything I've got for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure you slap that like button. It really does help me out, and I do really appreciate it. And yeah, thank you very much for watching, and Ben will be live later on today, I think. So stay tuned for that. And yeah, I will see you tomorrow. So thank you very much for watching, and make sure you slap that like button.